Hello, world. Welcome to episode 105 of the Jimmy Canz Show, classic supercard retrospective time. It is WCW's Halloween Havoc 90. Let's get into it, talk about it, shall we? The event took place October 27th, 1990, from the UIC Pavilion, Chicago, Illinois. Sellout attendance 8,000 in the pavilion. Obviously, it was an NWA event promoted by WCW. It was broadcast live on pay-per-view, later released on VHS, courtesy of Turner Home Entertainment. 10-match card, action called by Jim Ross, Paulie Dangerously. Now, before I get going with this, this was a very odd review. As I stated, it was a 10-match card, but only 6 matches are available to watch. The only singles matches that they left on the card were the 2 title matches at the end. I stripped out the other 3 singles matches, 1 of the tag matches. And these were removed from both the VHS copy and the network version. Now, I know that the 3 singles matches, aside from the title matches that were stripped out, were kind of joke matches anyway, but this does make for a very difficult slog of a watch. 4 tag matches in a row. It's kind of repetitive and a tough watch. And, the overall quality of the show is not that great to begin with. Including those other ones wouldn't have made it that much better, but I digress. Let's talk about the actual card. Opening contest, Midnight Express, Sweet Sand Lane, Beautiful Bobby Eaton with their manager, Jim Cornette, take on Ricky Morton and Tommy Wildfire Rich. Morton's normal Rock and Roll Express tag partner, Robert Gibson, was sidelined with a knee injury. It's a solid match, played a lot like a typical Rock and Roll Midnight, even with Rich, substituting in for Gibson. Like I said, it was the chemistry that Morton kind of has with these guys. And like I said, Rich plugged in really well. It was, that typical kind of Rock and Roll Midnight atmosphere. Like I said, really good match to get the crowd going and start the night off. And came when the Southern Boys, who had the ongoing feud with the Midnight, made their way out. And chaos kind of ensued, distractions, yada yada. Cornette's tennis racket ends up getting involved. Rich getting a hold of it. Wham wham woom. 1, 2, 3 after the tennis racket shot, and Ricky and Rich get the win here. Also, before I move on, I just want to say, how much I love wrestling with Paulie, just talking so glowingly about about Cornette and the Midnight. Not, that long removed after the huge feud he had with them, and now he's just gushing over them. That doesn't last. We'll get into that in a little bit. It's pretty funny. Just how things flip and flop in the world of professional wrestling. But, like I said, there's the Southern Boys doing their Cornette impression. It was a funny match. But anyway, next singles contest with no story behind why the match is actually taking place. Gary Taylor versus Wild Bill Irwin. Both are good workers and all, but there's no beef. There's no story. Pointless match. This isn't too long before Taylor gets his computerized Man of the 90s gimmick, but at this point, he's pretty vanilla. The crowd and commentary didn't care about this match really at all. The crowd was chanting boring, and the commentary was talking about pretty much anything and everything but the match. Irwin hit a spine buster. but it's a sloppy cover by him, allowing Taylor to roll him up for the win. As I stated before, this one is omitted from the available versions of this show to watch. Even if you have the old tape or watch it on the network, you can't see this match. I don't typically talk about these, but after the second match, we have the interview segment with Tony Schiavone and Sting. Sting was facing Sid tonight, but WCW had been splitting the focus of that match and the Black Scorpion angle. Sid was really an afterthought, making tonight's match basically lame duck, knowing where their focus really is. During the interview, the Black Scorpion appears and talks to Sting, saying he's going to show him his black magic. Black magic being lame stage magic, taking a plant and doing the disappear behind Ray's curtain trick to appear on the other side of the stage. Ooh, spooky, spooky black magic. So this was just a bad angle. Another pointless singles match, even more pointless than probably the last singles match. Candyman Brett Armstrong took on career jobbing journeyman JW Storm. This was omitted again. It was a sloppy finish. Armstrong did get the win with the roll up. So this is our second match, with the roll up finish. Again, kind of see why it was omitted, but like I said, it makes, as anticlimactic as this match and the previous singles match were. Like I said, watching multiple tag matches after tag match after tag match makes it a difficult watch. Just breaking up the monotony would have helped a little bit, but like I said, it wasn't a good match. Another tag match, the only tag match omitted, and saw the Southern Boys, Tracy Smothers, Steve Armstrong, taking on the Master Blaster, Steel and Blade. The match in and of itself, much like the Taylor Irwin match, was an afterthought by the commentary team, who happened to be joined by Cornette. As I was talking about earlier, how Dangerously was, raving about Cornette in the Midnight in the opener. Now, Cornette and Dangerously are at each other's throats throughout this about the Civil War. Very, so kind of cringeworthy there. Very dated and homophobic comments by Cornette as well throughout this, directed at Smothers. Honestly, I can see why they omitted this from both the VHS and the network version. Honestly, you would have to completely redub the commentary or have a major disclaimer on screen. It was that bad. Southern Boys, had the match won. Cornette interferes, allowing Blade to absolutely destroy Armstrong with a clothesline for the win. Another tag match. Renegade Warriors, Mark and Chris Youngblood took on the Fabulous Freebirds, Jimmy Jam Garvin, Michael P.S. Hayes, who had little Richard Marley with them. Marley was portrayed by the Southeastern journeyman Rocky King. This is a typical Freebird match. Some back and forth and everything. There's obviously, Freebirds have somebody out there with them that cause a distraction and fracas. So they're, Marley gets into it with Mark Youngblood. This distracts the official, allowing the illegal Hayes to come in, hit a DDT on Chris Youngblood. 1, 2, 3. Winners, the Fabulous Freebirds. Nothing special. Another tag match. NWA US tag titles on the line here. The champions, the Steiner brothers, Rick and Scott, taking on the Nasty Boys, Jerry Saggs and Brian Knobbs. Starts hot, then kind of settles in. Nasties get control, a lot of brawling, rest holds. They dominate a good portion of the match on Scott. Then, a little chaotic again, leading into the ending of the match, which was a Frankensteiner finish and a retention by the Steiners. Battle of the Dogs next. I can't believe I'm talking about this match in late 1990. Junkyard Dog taking on Moondog Rex. Doesn't last long. JYD gets a win with a headbutt. Again, this is omitted from the available versions of this broadcast, so you're not missing anything. But like I said, it wasn't long, and like I said, it would have broke things up a little bit to include it, I think. But anyway, final tag match of the evening. It's for the NWA World Tag Team Championships. The Horsemen members of the Nature Boy Ric Flair and the NWA World TV Champion, the Enforcer AA Arn Anderson, challenging the team of Doom, Exile Butch Reed, and Ron Simmons with Theodore R. Long in the corner. Flair's involved in the match, so this is going to last a while. Pretty long match, pretty solid match, but anticlimactic, ends in a double countout. Finally, a singles match that we actually get to watch. NWA United States Championship match. Champion total package Lex Luger faces Stan Lariat Hansen. Not many wrist locks in this one. Obviously, given the styles of these two, but the bad man from Border captures one of his rare major U.S. promotion titles as he defeats Luger to become the NWA United States Champion after a lariat. Spivey did come out. He was, the quote-unquote protege of Hansen, but never put his hands on him. Does toss him the bull rope with the cowbell, but never touches Lex. Just the lariat, clean pin. Like I said, there was, some fracas, but he won it clean, which was, pretty interesting to see. So your new United States champion, Stan the Lariat Hansen. And last but not least, Sting defending the NWA World title against the Horseman's big monster, Sid Vicious. The Horsemen, obviously the Horsemen come out. Everything, Sting's brawling with them, goes to the back. It looks like Sting dives back into the ring. Sid pins him. 1, 2, 3. Looks like we have a new NWA World Champion in Sid. However, it wasn't really Sting. It was his fellow Horseman member, Barry Windham, cosplaying as him. Sid's announced as the winner, but then the real Sting comes back out with a rope around his wrist to allude to that he was tied up backstage and broke free. Match resumes. Sting gets the win and retains the title with a roll-up. Just weird, awkward finish. Like I said, this match was kind of an afterthought with an odd finish, as the real focus with Sting right now is the whole Black Scorpion angle. So, like I said, just weird, like a weird. Overall, half the card is tag matches, singles matches aside from the U.S. title. Had no real major story. Like I said, there was kind of it. There was kind of a story between, Sid and Sting, but the real focus on the world title, and Sting at this point in time is the Black Scorpion stuff. So, and like I said, half the cards omitted, almost half the cards omitted. From what's available to watch, it making this, very repetitive viewing, tag. All in all, a disjointed show with no focus on majority of the matches. Gotta rate it. My 10 belt scale. Like I said, this is bad. This is a bad show. I'm giving it a 2. The only thing that prevents me from giving this a 1, honestly, was probably the surprise win of Hansen. Made something somewhat intriguing going forward with having a new U.S. champion. So, yeah, like I said, this was just bad. They looked like they were kind of trending the right way, and they took a huge step backwards. It kind of started with the initial reveal of the Black Scorpion, and now we're our second show in with this Black Scorpion stuff, and it's just getting worse and worse. The lame stage magic isn't helping. Next up in our classic retrospectives, we'll talk about Clash of the Champions Thanksgiving Thunder. What is this, Clash 13 we're up to? Yeah, I think this was Clash 13. But anyway, wherever you are, hope you're doing well. Give the channel a like, share, subscribe. Take care of one another. I'll see y'all when I see you.